Hello, everybody. This is Isaiah, your son, brother, and a servant of God. Thank you for joining me on this video, and I thank everybody that have seen the first video, um, my encounter with Papa Shofa, and I remember on the tag I said, please watch out for my next video for more revelations. Briefly, what happened on the other video was just um, an explanation of the encounter I had with Papa Shofa on the day he died, which was the 10th of September 1985. I'm just going to summarize a little bit from that video, and then this video has something different, that I have to talk about. So in the previous video, I did shared my experience, my encounter with Papa. The board of trustees, they had a meeting at Papa's house. After they finished their meeting, I was at the meeting with my dad, and that's not the only meeting I attended. I've been to numerous meetings with my dad, with the board of trustees, and Papa Shofa. But on this occasion, the last stage, and then what happened is what I'm sharing, because as the Holy Spirit has directed me to speak, to bring this out, because the boat of salvation is leaking, and we need to do something about it. So just after the meeting, my dad woke me up and said, son, we need to go home now. So everybody left. We're all going downstairs at Papa's house, and quickly I remember that I left my hat, my beret in the room. So I said to my dad that, Dad, I need to pick up my beret. So he said, okay, go quickly. So I went in, opened the door, went in to get my beret. In the process of getting my beret, Papa Shofa appeared to me. And this is this is an experience I can never forget. My head, everything was swelling. Papa smiled, winkled his eyes, and then spun his hat. I screamed very, very loud. Every one of them, the board of trustee, my dad, and every one of them just ran to my head. Isaiah, what happened? What happened? And I have to repeat what just happened. I said, I saw Papa, that Papa came out to me and smiled, and I'm still shaking, frightened, because my whole body was heavy, seeing the man of God, coming out at me. So for a little boy of my age, you can imagine what experience could have been to me. So I told them what I saw, and the board of trustees quickly, asked me to keep quiet, shut up, that I shouldn't say anything, tell anybody about what I saw. And they instructed my dad, mandated him to speak to me about it. I shouldn't say anything to anybody regarding that. And that was it. My dad spoke to me. They've already said it to me that I shouldn't say anything to anybody. So 2 days later, I was sleeping in my dad's room. My childhood friends, Paul Bada and Solomon Oshofa, I believe, they came to my dad's place, to my dad's room, woke me up, say, Isaiah, get up, come and see what's going on. That Papa is dead. I'll just ignore them. Went back asleep. Like, leave me alone. Papa is not dead. And they kept on, waking me up, say, Isaiah, get up. You need to get up. That Papa is dead. I said, no, Papa is not dead. That they should leave me alone. So I believe Paul said it. Said, well, come and see for yourself. Come outside to the balcony and see. So reluctantly, I got up and I went outside with them on the balcony of my dad's place to see, what they're telling me. And I saw a lot of crowd on the street, a lot of Celestial members all crying. And they were telling me, so can you see now? And I said, no, Papa is not there because I saw Papa the other day and I said it to my dad and the board of trustee that Papa appeared to me and I confirmed to them that he's dead. But they told me no, that he's not, that I shouldn't say anything. And so my mind, everything was just playing, on me. Like a minute I was told he's not dead, that I shouldn't say anything, and now that he's dead. So there's a lot of things for me to take in at that time. I'm processing so many things like, why did they tell me, convince me that Papa is not dead when he appeared to me? All right, that's just that day what happened. And as a little boy, we played, you know, we moved on, we do different things. But as I said, that wasn't the only meeting I attended with my dad and board of trustee, including Papa Shofa. Numerous meeting I've heard when the board of trustee, threw the question to Papa that who is going to be the next leader after his, you know, departure. That if case, okay, well, Papa explained to them that ẹ̀mí ni ó máa yan ẹni tí ó máa jẹ olùṣọ́ àgùntàn ìjọ. Ń pé ẹ̀mí ni pé kì í ṣe ẹnì kankan láàrin àwọn board of trustee tó jókòó pẹ̀lú wọn. So that was crystal clear. And again, I believe it was NTA or some TV station had an interview again with Papa Shofa regarding who's to be his successor after his, departure or something like that. And Papa, said it that ó lè jẹ́ ọmọ ìkókó àbí ọmọdé àbí um, ẹni tó ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wọ ìjọ mímọ́ àbí ìkànnù ọmọ mi. Wípé ẹni tí ẹ̀mí bá ti yàn òun ni ó máa ṣe adarí ìjọ náà. So what I'm trying to point out here was few days after everybody is aware Papa Shofa is dead. Remember I said 2 days later, which was on the 12th of September, my childhood friends, Paul Bada and Solomon Shofa, they came to wake me up. I was sleeping because, at that time, so many things I've seen, I've heard, even including the car accident that happened in Ibadan on the Ibadan Express Road. I was the one that spotted SPD, Papa's driver, at the ring road Ibadan, full of blood. His sultana was so full of blood, and I just shouted, like in the car, that daddy, 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 that is SPD, that, is full of blood. Daddy said, where? I say, in the bus stop there. And daddy stopped our driver to park and quickly got out of the car to speak to SPD that what happened. And Fred SPD explained everything to daddy that they had a flat tire, something like that. I was standing with my dad when my dad was questioning, SPD with what happened. And he told my dad instantly, like, Mr. Mark and Mr. Thomas died on the spot. That Baba Abiasi had an head injury and is being taken to hospital. And daddy said, where's Papa? He said, oh, Papa wa no motumbe. And he showed daddy, where Papa was sitting in a Volvo car. I was standing, and my dad went to the car, tap on Papa, Eddie Kejimi. And daddy said, yes, Papa. And the first thing Papa asked her, Iboni Mark wa, Iboni Thomas wa at Abiasi. My dad responded because Fred SPD, Papa's driver, has already narrated what happened to my dad. So my dad told Papa that they've been taken to hospital. And Papa said, "Did you see them?" Because Papa was conscious at that time. So Daddy said, "Yes, that they've been transported to hospital." So my dad just noticed something wasn't right with Papa, that his behavior, the way he was responding, that he needs to be checked in the hospital. So my dad just stepped aside, spoke to the owner of the vehicle, a woman, and my dad said, "Please, Ejo, let me put in Yoruba so for people that, my people at home can relate to this." So Daddy bá obìnrin yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ pé kán jọ torí Ọlọ́run, kán gbà wọ́n láṣìírí, kán yà wọ́n ní mọ́tò wọn. Ń pé ó máa léwu tọ́n bá gbé Papa jáde kúrò nínú mọ́tò wọn wá sínú mọ́tò wa, tó pé wọ́n wà níbi ring road Ìbàdàn. So Papa sọ, obìnrin sọ pé kò sí wàhálà bàbá, ń pé ibikíbi tí wọ́n fẹ́ lọ, ẹ lo mọ́tò yẹn. And Daddy said, "No, no, 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 no. My wife and my children are in my car. And you can use my car anywhere you want to go on that day. Please use it," because she has already offered, a car for Daddy to use to transport Papa to hospital. Because at that time, Daddy was thinking if Papa should come out of Alaja's car into his car, there are so many people around there. There could be press people, journalists. So Daddy doesn't want to raise any alarm at that time. So he just did that to protect the reputation of Papa and the church. So, and Daddy decided that he has to take Papa to hospital. And we and the other women, we got into our car. So not quite long, on the road, the woman said we should stop, that she's nearly home. And my stepmom said, no, 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 no. Daddy sọ pé anywhere to bá fẹ́ lọ on that day, pé obìnrin sọ pé come and worry, pé and pé Daddy lè need wa, ń pé so ká tètè padà ká tẹ̀lé wọn lọ. So what I'm trying to say is, from the 1st of September, I've already seen enough. The crash, SPD, Papa, and that was a lot. And Mr. Mark and Mr. Thomas, that is dead. So as a little boy, there's so much information message that was, going on in my head. So when on the 12th, when my friend, came to wake me up, like, Papa is dead, I disagree with them. Like, no, I'm still processing so many things, in my head. Because even on that day when Mr. Mark and Thomas is dead, I was one. Not only me, my brother was in the car, John Ajande Koko, and my niece, Bidemi, Ido, she was in the car as well. So we are warned not to say anything to anybody when we get home. But that's another story for another day. So, few days just after, the 10th, the board of trustees had a meeting at Supreme's house without my dad, but they later sent for him to join them at the meeting. So when he got the message, that it was needed, so he dressed up and went to Supreme. I went with him because at this time I was everywhere, just listening, watching what was going on, because there were people that were coming to my dad, to know what's going on. So I was just, attentive, taking everything in. So I went along with him to Supreme House. So this time around, I'm going to start talking in Yoruba just to take you people along. Immediately tí Daddy wọlé tán arrive láti sílé Baba Bada, bọ́n ṣe ń wọlé ní gbogbo àwọn board of trustee náà dọ̀bálẹ̀. Wọ́n pé bàbá a ti ṣẹ̀yìn o. My dad was, looking like, what's going on? Ẹ̀yin ọmọdé yìí ẹ dìde pé please don't scare me. Ṣé nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀ ni àbí ẹlòmíì tútù, because at that time they're still, every one of them are even processing, Papa's death. So wọ́n kàn sọ pé bàbá ẹjọ́ àti ṣẹ̀yìn, wọ́n wà lórí ìdọ̀bálẹ̀, wọ́n bẹ̀ pé bàbá àti ṣẹ̀yìn o, kíní kan. Daddy said they should stop, they should come out and tell him what was the problem, that kàn yé dẹ́rù bà àwọn ọmọ. Wọ́n pé nǹkan tá a sọ pé àti ṣẹ̀yìn pé láàrin wa àti yan Supreme Bada go step into Papa's shoe to be his successor. My dad said lie. Ipe tí o gbúdọ̀ gbọ́, ipe àìtí ìsìn papa ẹ ti sọ pé ẹ ti yan Supreme kó jẹ́ pastor. Wọ́n pé lie. My dad disagree. And if people that knows my daddy, you could understand his voice that no way. Ipe kì í ṣe nǹkan tí papa fi lé àwọn lọ́wọ́ nìyí. Ipe papa dẹ̀ kìlọ̀. Ipe kì í ṣe ẹnì kankan láàrin wa. Ipe àìdẹ̀ tí ìsìn papa tán lẹ́tí ń dámọ̀ràn pé ẹ fi èèyàn kan ṣe. Daddy child, my dad disagree with them. He disagreed. The meeting went on for many hours. No resolution, because my dad doesn't want to be part of it. He made it clear that this is not home. Kì í ṣe nǹkan tí bàbá Ọ̀ṣọ́fà fi lé àwọn lọ́wọ́ ni. So, as I said, the meeting went on for many hours. No solution. So the next time, they had another meeting at Papa Oshofa's house. While the meeting was going on, Sister Edith, because at that time, we always call her Say Edith. Sister Edith, I think she got an hint of what was going on, and she went upstairs to that meeting and, sent them packing. Excuse me. I think she's been informed. Somebody must have, gave her an hint, what was going on. Like they're trying to, make Baba Bada to be the pastor, and she was so upset that it is papa letting Dabra Rakini pay confiance on shake back shaking con, so that upset her. So she had to send them packing and lock Papa's gate. So further down, let me just say fast forward, because there was no solution to that coup. Let me just call it coup or plan. They have to come up with something. And what they came up with was, there was a man that was introduced to everybody that his name is Amu, that Impe Papa Yosi nínú igbó wọ́n wá fún ní owó ẹyọ Impe kó bá lè sọ pé àwọn Yosi Impe kàn fi Baba Bada ṣe pastor. We Celestians, we all know the ways of God. We believe how God works. Ìjọ Ọlọ́run ni ìjọ mímọ́. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká parọ́ tanra wa. Báwo ni Papa ṣe máa yọ sí ènìyàn kan aráàta nínú igbó tó wá ránṣẹ́ wá sí Kétu ní pé Baba Bada nìkan fi ṣe olùdarí ìjọ mímọ́. So let's rewind backward to the 10th of September when Papa appeared to me. That wasn't brought up. So how can Papa appear to a stranger, not even members of the church, of our church? But because they are the people in power, in control of the church. So whatever they say is what people, we believe, we go with. Many people at that time were happy, and some people were disappointed that, come on, kì í ṣe nǹkan tí Baba Ọ̀ṣọ́fà fi lélẹ̀ ni, and this thing shouldn't be on. How many days, Papa is gone and this is all coming up. So many people were upset with that, and some people were happy, celebrating that this is this. No. And that is the moment the boat of salvation started leaking, because of the force like or prophecy, ìrọtí on pé on gbéyàn kan dìde. I think his name is Amu, if I remember very well. But if it's not, but everybody knows the story that I'm talking about. That èèyàn kan papa yọ sí nínú igbó. So gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe ń sọ lọ, ìtó pé bàbá Jánlé kòkò lọ́wọ́ sí tán parọ́ fún ìjọ mímọ́ náà láti wá ọgbọ́n kan, you know, to bring people together to make them believe that it is real. Well, where are we today? We suffered this problem for many years. And what I'm trying to say is, during that time, everything was fine at first, that all the board of trustees agreed. But suddenly, you know, I think guilty conscience, you know, affected or disturbed Baba J.K. Owoduni. And that is where he decided to defend the constitution of the church. Maybe this is not right. That Baba Bada kò tọ́ sí ipò olùdásílẹ̀ ìjọ. And as you all know, àgbà kì í wà lọ́jà kí orí ọmọ tuntun wọ̀. Since that thing started, my dad sent for Baba Owoduni to resolve this case, you know, in within us amicably. But unfortunately, when Baba Owoduni came, there were many people on the streets screaming, you know, pariwo, ole, oloju kokoro, all sort of things, you know. They were saying, you know, shouted at him. So, unfortunately, the meeting could not be, you know, held because people were making so much noise when Baba Owoduni was at my dad's place, you know, because he honored my dad. He came, you know, to see if a way moving forward. But unfortunately, gbogbo àrùwò tí wọ́n pa tán ará àdúgbò ń pa kò lè jẹ́ kí meeting náà kó tẹ̀síwájú. So my dad hoped that he will reschedule it to another day, another time, by God's willing. And he tried so many times to unify the church, to bring them together. Well, it got out of hand. And once it got out of hand, it now became a public problem. So going to court every time started affecting the growth, the spiritual growth of the church. And once that has started, many faithful members of Celestial Church find it difficult to continue because they don't know the truth. Maybe which side to follow, which side not to. So it was a big problem. And more so for we that were born in Celestial Church of Christ. Far back as the early, don't be before me, like in the 50s, early 50s, 60s, 70s, and further down to 80s. They were all disappointed because we all know what Celestial Church of Christ stands for. We believe in the power of God that God gave to Papa Oshofa. We look at Celestial Church of Christ back then as earthly heaven because the way the Spirit of God was moving in the church and in Nigeria as a whole. So, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí ló fà á tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ ìjọ mímọ́ wọ́n kúrò ní ìjọ mímọ́ lọ sí inú ẹ̀sìn ibòmíì. and àkókò ti tó láti tún ọkọ̀ náà ṣe fún gbogbo ọmọ ìjọ mímọ́ tán ti lọ àtàwọn ènìyàn tuntun míì tán fẹ́ wọnú ìjọ mímọ́ káyè bá lè gbà wọ́n. Àkókò ti tó for every true celestial to come together now and let us rebuild that boat of salvation. For all other churches to see that this church was a divine church from God. The last boat of salvation. Never too late. And that is why it is time. As I mentioned in my other video, that I had a dream many years ago. And in that dream, my calling in that dream was to rebuild, a builder to rebuild the church. And for me to build the church, to rebuild the boat of salvation, that is why I'm sharing this revelation with you. Because a lè kọ́lé sórí irọ́. Àwọn Yorùbá náà ló máa ń pa lówe pé tí irọ́ bá lọ fún 20 ọdún, ìjọ́ kan ni òtítọ́ máa bá. For me and for every one of us to rebuild the church, we have to be honest, we have to be transparent, we have to have a true foundation, because the foundation of the church started collapsing when the thing happened just after Papa died. That they, I can call it like a coup, because when Nigerian people, they are used to coup every time when the military people wants to take over. So let's just put it, the word I should use is not coming, but so nǹkan tó bá ọkọ̀ ìjọ mímọ́ jẹ́ nìyẹn, tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń jò. Àkókò tó láti tún ọkọ̀ náà ṣe. Èmi ní kọ́kọ́ ni máa ṣe o, gbogbo wa ni o. Even àtàwọn tó ti kúrò ní ìjọ mímọ́, wọ́n máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń gbọ́ kìkì nípa Ọlọ́run ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ìyanu rẹ̀ padà nínú ìjọ mímọ́. Mo nígbàgbọ́ nínú Ọlọ́run pé ọ̀nà á jáde síta láti wá ràn wá lọ́wọ́ láti tún ọkọ̀ náà ṣe. Because a kò lè lajú wálẹ̀ ká jẹ́ kí ọkọ̀ náà máa rìn inú omi. Kò sẹ́nikẹ́ni nínú wa tí Ọlọ́run bá pè tó rán níṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ ẹ̀ bàjẹ́. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ tí Ọlọ́run rán bàbá Ọ̀ṣọ́fà sí orílẹ̀-èdè ayé kó bàjẹ́. Ó tó gẹ́, àkókò tó fún gbogbo wa ká dìde, ká ṣẹ̀tọ́ wa bí ẹni àmì òróró Ọlọ́run, ká túnjọ náà ṣe. Látòkè títí dé ìsàlẹ̀ ká tún ṣe. Kí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ènìyàn kan bá lè wọnú ọkọ̀ náà. Kì í ṣe fáwọn èèyàn dúdú nìkan ni. Fún gbogbo àgbáyé, ìjọ mímọ́ ti wà káàkiri àgbáyé, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èèyàn mélòó ní orílẹ̀-èdè àgbáyé tó wà náà wà nínú ẹ̀. Because we are not following the calling, the purpose of the church. We're doing different things. We've been distracted. So it's time now for us to rise up and start the preparation to rebuke the boat of salvation. I think I'm going to stop here for now. If anybody have any questions or they want to ask me, they should feel free, to ask me the question. I'll be able to answer them. But I think I'm going to leave it for now. And I hope this video, wherever it goes, it will minister to true Celestians. Because we cannot rebuild this boat of salvation on a lie. Orí òtítọ́ ni. Wọ́n pé òtítọ́ ló dá ìjọ mímọ́, ló ràn wá sínú ayé. Òtítọ́ ni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe òtítọ́. Ìdí nìyí tí mo fi ń sọ àwọn encounter mi tèmi rí pẹ̀lú Papa Ọ̀ṣọ́fà. And as I was growing up, I tried to understand, why Papa appeared to me. Why Papa appeared to me. Nobody gave me the answer. But as I started getting older, I was praying to God that kí ni ìdí tí Papa fi yọ sí mi? Ṣé Papa fẹ́ rán mi níṣẹ́ ni? Àbí Papa fẹ́ lò mí ni? And the Spirit said, for me to be His witness to the church, because a time like this will come that I will be able to tell the truth as it was. Ipe àwọn tó wà pẹ̀lú òun, wọ́n lè máa ṣòótọ́ àbí kíkú ti mú wọn lọ, pé ṣùgbọ́n èmi tí mo jẹ́ ọmọ kékeré, èmi ó sọ, èmi ó ròyìn iṣẹ́ ìyanu àmì tí òun ti gbé ṣe nílé ayé. And one of the favorite part of the Bible tí Papa máa ń fi ń tọ́ mi pé tọ́ èèyàn bá fẹ́ lé mi pé kí n má lọ sí ibi tán bá wà, á sọ pé ẹ filẹ̀ torí pé tí wọ́n ní ìjọba ọ̀run. Refer me to Matthew 19, I think from verse 14, something like that. We let the children come to the God, to Jesus, because tí wọ́n ní ìjọba ọ̀run. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé àwọn àgbà yẹn máa dàgbà, ṣùgbọ́n àwa ló máa kù láti tún ìjọ náà ṣe. To be His witness. That is why Papa appeared to me. That gbogbo ohun tí mo ti rí, tí mi ti gbọ́, I should be able to retell it to the people, to the church, when the time comes, the appropriate time of God. And it is time. And that's why the Lord, as I said in my previous video, after I got back from work, I was praying, the Spirit was saying, I said, what is it? What is it? He said, what it is in you is what I want you to bring on. And I was having preaching, I think, the following week after Papa's death. So that Spirit could not just, leave me alone. I'd say the truth. So that's why I have to come out and share my experience. So now I'm going to leave this video for here. If anybody have anything, any question to ask me, please feel free to contact me, leave your question, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Kí ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run kó wà pẹ̀lú gbogbo wa. Thank you all for listening. May God be with us all in Jesus' name. Amen.